And DOA is MIA. Oh, you got to turn your picture on. All we see is your business profile and like a half of your face. And now we see the blue bucket. That guys, that's the new thing right there. There you go. You don't even need to have the bucket. You're just an a-hole. So, everybody, welcome to the first stream. This is called Expensive Paper. DOA came up with the name Expensive Paper. And, the whole purpose of this show is to just talk about alternative assets. That's one of John's favorite terms to use. It makes our childhood habits feel a lot more legitimate by calling them alternative assets. When you say it that way, it doesn't sound so nerdy. Yeah. Right. Yeah, exactly. Right. Or I spent $6,000 on some alternative assets to round out my portfolio. Oh, hold on. They say they can't hear you. Hold on a second. DOA. All right, hold on. Let's get one sec, people. All right. Let's get you. Let's see. All right. I did do this on purpose. Let me ask you something, John. You guys could hear me though, right? If I have display capture on right now, and yeah, they can hear me. They can't hear you. What would I need to add then on here? Okay. All right, let's do that right now. 1 second. The audio output capture or in right? Okay, output, add source, desktop audio. No, because but that's what I'm on right now. I have desktop audio. So just choose desktop audio and see. Try again. Okay, desktop 2. Let's try this. Desktop 2. All right. Add source.
I'm going to mute myself so I can...
Yeah. So, how's that now? Can we hear you? Let's see. Check. How about now? You got to say something, right? John?
I'm here. I'm here. I was trying to listen to it come through here.
Right.
On my phone, but if I had it on, I had to mute it for that. So let's see. Can they hear me now? Can you hear me now?
1 sec. So this is... No, so let me remove that.
What?
Yeah. Nobody can hear you. It's like they're listening on a one-way call. Let me go to... Let's see here. You can hear him, but now it's a black screen. So, let's go to display capture. That's so strange. Let me do that. And now how's that? Let them know. Now can they hear you? Boom, good. So I have no idea why. Now can they hear you though? No, he's muted again. So why is that? If we have... That is so freaking weird. That's bizarre. Let's do audio output capture. Let's do display capture again. Let's try that. How about now? Say something. All right, how about that, guys? Could you hear him now? You got to turn it around. Nope, they can't hear you. Why won't it pick up your sound? Let's see. Mm-mm-mm-mm. Oh, I can't be saying fact. Display capture. So why, if we put the screen down, like, is it because the camera's using zoom? Like, I just don't understand. I've always used zoom before. Yeah. Audio input capture. Add source. That's my Yeti mic. Add source and what? Choose the desktop. Desktop audio. Let's see if this works. Add source. And then device. No, this is like going with my hardware. That's not gonna. It's not correct, I don't think. I mean, we. Do you want to just go? Yeah. If you want to Google that and do that. Yeah. Okay. All right. All right. Yeah. Go research. Yep. Yep. So, guys, this is what we're doing because for whatever reason, um, DOA. Let's go over here. DOA was he was very busy right before we got onto the stream, and so he is now going to try to see what's going on with the audio because it's just strange that the Zoom is going and it's not picking up the silent auction. Yeah, not picking up his audio, which is very weird. Um, If I go to my main screen, I'm just seeing one other thing. Maybe. Uh, bu- 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 hmm. We're gonna have to try again. So, guys, we're gonna do this while he is looking for some research and whatnot. I'm just gonna keep on going. But basically, DOA and we wanted to do this show with you guys. I know, Gen X. I've got some fans going on right now. The AC has busted, and it's really hot right now in New Jersey. It's like 84, and in the studio with all the lights and equipment running, it's very, very hot. So this is what it is. Is what it is. But here's what we're doing. We are basically just talking about, like he said, alternative assets. We are going to be talking about. Yours went out too, Janine. It's coming on the 16th, our new one, and very, very 90 degrees. She says 110 in Phoenix. No, it's just fans in the background. Fans in the background. So, window units, if you want to pick them up. Yeah, wife does not want any window units. So DOA, he's going to be looking for some answers as to why the audio wasn't coming in, and then why, when his screen was black, then we were able to hear him. Got the fans blazing. I know, me too. And we are going to be giving this away today, right here, to one lucky winner. Yeah, only fans, right? And so this is Spider-Man #1, Todd McFarlane. DOA and I were talking about Todd McFarlane. I don't know if you know anything about Todd McFarlane, but he and I agree that he's kind of like the next Stan Lee. A lot of us kind of grew up in the era of Todd McFarlane. Stan Lee has kind of, he was kind of towards the end of his prime. And so we just thought it would be cool to do this as like a gesture to all of you guys for the first show. And so one lucky winner will be winning this at some point this evening. I'm going to put that over to the side. Last night's stream, I did get everybody's auction items ready to roll. Basically everything is packed up, good to go. And so yeah, and I'm just gonna. Todd McFarlane came up with that spider web style. It's just a really cool image. It's iconic, So let's see. Are you 80 in my house? I'm sitting outside. I mean, that. When did that book get released? 1990. And so this book, what you see here, okay, this is 1990. It comes in the green. Then there was a silver version. And then they had the gold version, which is more rare. And then they ended up having the platinum version. In the platinum version, it was like one in I don't even know how many. But they went to various comic book shops based on, I believe, the quantity that they purchased, and so those were rare. I forget the exact number, but the platinums go for thousands and thousands and thousands. And then this one was like number the 13th issue, and so he's in the black suit there, so I had to get that one. What it comes down to is this, friends. This is a part of my childhood, and I loved it. And a lot of you collect a lot of things other than just coins. And it was fun when I was getting into this last year. And I was buying. I was going crazy. And then one day I'm like sitting here with all these comic books sitting here. And I was like, okay, this is, a lot of money tied up into comics. God forbid if there's ever, let's say, like a recession or something, I'm going to be kind of stuck here holding the bag with this. And I ended up selling everything for profit. Then I was like, okay, I'm done. I got that out of my system. Lo and behold, like maybe a few weeks ago, I'm starting to think about, oh man, I kind of want to start buying those again. DOA then goes and finds a $90,000 deal and he opens it up and he starts finding all these gems. I'm like, that's it. Sold. I got to buy this stuff. So that's what I ended up doing. Ended up kind of getting back into it. Now this thing here, let me move this over to the side. I like the Punisher. I'm not like a crazy huge fan. I do like him. I like Spider-Man more. But this was like one of those comics that I felt like was a little bit more attainable. First appearance of Punisher, it's a first appearance of like a major character. And the price, it was listed for quite a bit. I had it on my watch list, and the seller ended up making me an offer. They offered it to me for several $100s less. I made them even a lower offer. They accepted, and I was like, oh crap, that's exciting, but then I have to buy the damn thing. So I ended up buying it. No, not me, Silver Wolverine. DOA did. And he found tons and tons and tons of stuff. And Med Gas Guy, he said I got offered pennies for each book at a comic shop, and so did I. And I was in collecting in the 90s. The 1990s stuff I sold for 10 years ago for like $20. Like I should have just given them away or just hung on to them. They were basically worth they were worth nothing. And now, the most expensive book that I had was the first appearance of Carnage, and now, that's an expensive book. This is something I got more recently. Just loved this image. This is number 100. Those of you that are fans of The Walking Dead, this was basically the issue where Glenn dies, where Negan is introduced along with Lucille. So first appearance of Negan and Lucille, so iconic character, and I just loved this book. And then I got this. This is, again, just one of those quick purchases. As a kid, I saw this and I loved the art. This is Eric Larson. Loved this artwork. Bought it. I forget how much I paid back in the day, and so now here it is again. Just loved it, loved it, loved it. So, anyhow. So, obviously disappointed that we couldn't figure out DOA's we got his picture and we couldn't get the audio on. But let's see, I'm just looking at here. Medgas guy Venom. I'm gonna probably be buying the first appearance of Venom again. One person in this chat right now who knows a ton about this stuff is Sean's Precious Bullion, and he knows just a buttload about this stuff. Let me just see something here. Let me see something. I think I have an idea. Let me see. I'm like now trying to think again about DOA, and I'm just trying to figure out. I have display capture on. Let's see something. Display capture. What are some of the other things to look for? I mean, they look for a lot of stuff, Deb. Like in comics that have, like they look for waviness in the books. They look to see if there's like things called spine ticks, which are tiny like little creases and little like chips of almost like ink. They look for dirt, smudges, any sort of writing, rips, tears. They also look, if you look at here, this says white pages. They look for the color of the pages in the books. And so it goes from white to this one here, which is off-white to white, which is more common in the older books. Then it goes to off-white, and then there's off-white to cream, then cream to tan, and so on. Spine roll, staples not centered. Yep, Silver Trooper knows a little bit about it too. So there's a whole lot of stuff that they end up looking. There's a whole lot of stuff that they end up looking for. We're gonna tell me to look at the graphics with a loop. Yeah, interesting. And then it goes from 10, 9.9. 10s and 9.9s are almost unheard of. Typically, you go 9.8, 6, 4, 9.2, 9, and then it usually goes in halves. But let me just see. Can you guys hear me when we're on this screen real quick? Let me know. Can you guys hear me on this screen? It seems like my mic is coming through here. But, let me know if you guys can hear me on this screen too. But this is the giveaway page. I hear Stormy says heist. Thank you. Awesome. So we will be on here to do the... Let me go over here. To do the giveaway in a little bit. But what is it that you guys are into? Like, how many of you, aside from Sean's Precious Bullion, how many of you in the chat actually um, collect comic books, or did at one point. You're welcome, Dragon's Horde. You're welcome. Yeah, Trooper said there are some 9.9s and 10s, but those are like absolutely unheard of. I used to says M4. I'm just curious as to like the number of you, you know? I've autographed sports memorabilia collection, no comics. Wolverine, I used to have an extensive Yankees memorabilia collection. And that's the other thing, right? A lot of us collect more than one thing. So, John is calling me. Hang on a second. You there? What happened? Try him again. Now I'm calling him. Hey, what happened? No, I'm online. But I'm talking to you. Yeah. Okay. Uh-huh. How do I connect my YouTube to that? Accept invite. Hold on. Hang on, Stormy at Empire Precious Metals. Hang on. Continue with Google. Okay, got it. Alright. Now click on add channel. Alright, hang on a second. Add channel. Click on platform YouTube. Okay, click on channel. Okay. Okay, now I gotta sign in here, choose an account. Okay, allow. Your channel's been added. Okay, now what? Yeah. Come back to where? To this? To my channel? Doesn't make sense though, because I used to do this with Guido. Right. Right. All right. We'll go for another 20 and then we'll call it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then I'll hop on with you. Okay. We're all right, sounds good. Bye. All right. Guys, DOA, he's passing a gigantic kidney stone. He's giving birth. I'm just joking about that. Um we were trying to think of alternatives as to how to get this in there, but the hell just fell down? Something just fell in my office and I don't even see it. So, 96 was big into sports card. A lot of the sports cards also were worth nothing, and then they ended up shooting up in value. It's just crazy. You know what it was? It was COVID that ended up going up in extreme value for everything. I'm trying to find the pictures of my sports memorabilia stuff, and I could show you, but next stream we'll have the kinks ironed out. Here, let me Close this. Go in here. So this is... It's hard for you to see. This was a Joe DiMaggio autograph that I had. This was a Roger Maris that I had from 1961. This was like his... I had an autograph, his 1961 card there. Don Mattingly. I liked the Yankees. Wade Boggs, Dave Winfield. This was Yogi Berra down there. Autographed baseballs, a whole bunch. I had a team signed ball. This is Phil Rizzuto. You get the gist. I had a Mickey Mantle. Crazy, crazy. PayPal logo. Even crazier. But not all books are worth grading. That is true. A lot of... You got to go for... same... It's the same thing with precious metals. First in the series, you got to do like first appearances, by and large, and then it's time. Time has to go by, and let's see. I just know that Stormy had it working after like 2 changes. Then he made another change, and then screen went black. I think it's hooped. What's hooped? What does hooped mean? I don't even know what hooped means. Let me see. Display capture. It's capturing that. It's like, you see this. Why the hell can't it pick up the... Yeah. I don't know. Professor X merged with Magneto. So a lot of you were into comics. Silver Trooper says I sold by and large all that stuff. So now I'll be rebuilding this collection again. Yes, I sold my baseball memorabilia, all of it, many years ago. 8 years ago, maybe? 9? I'm looking to get 1 through 100 Savage Sword of Conan original mags, but quality is difficult and price is insane. And I sold the baseball memorabilia at major losses, and the one guy had a point. He's like, a lot of those old timers, he's like, the people that would have been collecting the old timers, they're not interested in that stuff. They're more interested in like the stuff, current stuff, So still my Denny's hologram cards. Is that even a thing? Let me click on... Let's do this. Shepherd me through the world of comic books. Let me go to the widgets. Spin wheel. I'm just going to do a quick test of the spin wheel. Let's go to the spin wheel. Are you able to even hear the wheel spinning, like the clicks of the wheel? Let me spin it again. Let's see. Can you hear those clicks? You test that wheel. Yes, we hear the wheel. So just DOA was... Now we went to the music, this frame. It's just weird because it's capturing my display. There's no reason that it shouldn't have been capturing his audio. That's going to piss me off. Tick, 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 tick. Lost audio in the fade over for fraction. Yeah. Let's see. Display, but if I'm looking in here, I'm not seeing the display on the right. I'm going to add a display again. I'm going to try something. Audio output. Let's see. It's desktop audio. Add source. Desktop audio. Add it. Let's see something. Let me do this. I think I may have fixed it. Let me call him. Let me see. I think I may have fixed it. He might not even answer. I might have to have, like, deputize one of you to come on. I think I fixed it. You want to hop into the Zoom? Go plug it in! Get off your troll ass. No, I'm still here. Because my obsessiveness, I can't let it go. So even though I'm chit-chatting with everybody, I'm still pretty much dead set focused on trying to fix this effing problem. That's really what's nagging me. So even though I'm small talking with them, I'm completely distracted until I'm fixated. I can't let something go until it's resolved. So you get out of bed and you go plug your stuff in, because I think I fixed it. Dude, audio input source, I had to just choose desktop audio. And then I had to unmute it. No, but it was muted, and so it wasn't even showing up as like a red, green, yellow. Yeah. And so now I see it there, and now I'm just waiting to hear your lovely voice. I'm waiting to hear the ding dong, and then to let you in, and then to hear you go "fack," and then we'll see it. Oh, I hear. Let me hit admit. Let me see. Ding dong, say something.
Hello.
I hear you. Guys, do you hear him?
This is a test.
I hear him. Do you guys hear him? Bing bong.
I'm not even going to bother to turn the camera on.
Turn the camera on. They hear you. Turn the camera on. Nobody cares what you look like. Now
the camera's...
Now we're going to fix this screen. You're good. We're good. We did it. Say something. Wait. Now let me add it on here. Hang on. Add desktop audio. That's what the problem was now. It was the desktop audio needed to be added into every scene. Now let me unmute it. Say something.
This is a test.
There, now we hear you. Boom.
I want to welcome everybody to Amateur Hour.
It's not Amateur Hour.
Yes, it is.
No. If we were both on the stream about a half hour to 40 minutes sooner, which was the original plan.
You couldn't test it until you were live.
No, because I would have seen the bar going, you donkey.
Let's talk about the two comic books you now own.
Yay, my two!
Let's talk about the two comic books you now own.
Yeah.
Because it's been 32 minutes of them suffering through the misery of you being mentally distracted, trying to fix this.
Yes.
I mean,
but now it's fixed.
But is it really?
Yeah.
Are we grainy?
No.
Okay.
No.
Right.
No. But you have to move your face closer to the camera. There it is, right there. So, Johnson, one of the things that I had had asked you was when you were looking through that horde of comic books that woman had, I was like, how the hell did you even decide on what offer to make her? And because there's no way you would have been able to go through every single one of those, because it looked like you had at least 1,500 books there. Right? Because how much is a long box?
In a long box, there's there's 500 to 800. Yeah. In a 5 foot long box.
Yeah.
Now these are extra long. These aren't shorties and they're not standards. They're the extra long. So there's 12 of those boxes, and then there's a pile of short boxes and other like regular there's boxes of Wild Turkey from 1972 full of comic books. So it's quite the mess. I had Silver Trooper come over and help sort it out, and for like an hour we just
I'm listening.
For an hour we just kind of stared at it going, holy God, this is a pile.
Yeah.
Well, let me mute the phone.
Yeah. Tell Paulie to go away.
It's not Polly. Polly was like, let me help you get it fixed. And I'm like, the problem, Polly, is not me. Okay. It's PibCac, and the PibCac is over yonder. PibCac is the problem is between keyboard and chair.
If you want to point fingers, if you want to go down this road, I am more than happy to.
Are you going to tell him you're not wearing pants and that you only own 2 comic books?
Yes.
Okay.
But you're not supposed to share that with them.
Oh.
So you had your boxes. What, you just like,
right.
Okay, let me pull one here randomly. Oh, that's a decent one. Let me go over here, pull one over here. And you did that several times and you're like, okay.
So I wish I had it, and I probably do somewhere. There's I thought I muted the phone. Sorry, guys. There was a piece of paper on top of each box where it would say title and then like a string of numbers.
Yeah.
And what it appeared to be was the listing, what the title of the book was, and then how many of the copies or versions or whatever. I want to say episodes. It's not episodes. How many they had. The problem was that the paper didn't match what was in the box. So they might have Spider-Man on this box, but you look through it and it's all like Thor.
Yeah.
And so the accuracy of what's on these papers became really questionable because you couldn't match it up. Now, these things had been shoved into plastic and then crammed into boxes since the 70s.
Right. Did they smell?
Oh, yeah.
Like were like old
person.
Yeah. So were they not were they not kept in like climate controlled area?
So we've been through, I think, 4 major hurricanes since the collection was started.
Oh,
and
God.
And so, yeah, so so part of the problem with it is I guess is trying to sort out if any of it was damaged,
right.
If it had mold, if it had crept through the boxes.
Yeah.
When you know, some of these plastics are older. It's not the new super plastics that we have. It's the stuff from the 70s.
Right.
And so it almost felt like the rubber that you would put on your grandma's couch.
Okay, I know what you're talking about. I know, it's like stretchy.
The thick, stretchy kind.
I know that like feeling. Rubber. Like if you're even a little bit sweaty, you're sticking, and you hear that peeling sound as you get up.
Yep. Yeah, yeah, and your ass cheek just makes that noise as you. So that's exactly right. That's exactly what it felt like thousands of times over and over again, and they were stuck together. So you have to kind of unpeel them.
And you probably had to do it carefully, too, because you don't know.
Yeah, and they had tape all over these things and taping them down. And so basically the goal here was to say, do I believe that there are enough keys in here in potentially good enough condition to make it worth the investment?
Mm-hmm.
And looking at the series that he had, I had to make the assessment that yes, they had to have keys in here.
Did you not have any idea that Amazing Fantasy? Is it Amazing Fantasy 1? No, Amazing Spider-Man 1.
Amazing Spider-Man.
Did you have any idea that was in there?
I had an idea that it was in there because on one of the sheets of paper it said entire. It said entire collection 1 through 300, the Amazing Spider-Man.
Oh.
And 1 through 50 sells for $700,000.
Right.
So 1 through 300, just imagine.
Yeah, I know. Did she ask you? Did she say a price and then you talked her down to like $90K, or like how did the negotiation go? Or did you just say here's $90K and she's like, okay, deal?
Essentially, but the conversation was, I don't know what. Keep in mind, this isn't quick. This is. I think I told Silver Trooper about this maybe a year ago. So it's been a long journey. Yeah, I can't read the comments because I'm not looking at the comments. I'm looking at a Zoom window. But maybe Silver Trooper. I think I think it was about maybe a year ago, maybe a little longer, when this first came up as an opportunity.
Oh,
But literally it was things like, I'm getting the roof replaced, and the roofer came in and saw the comics and said he would give me a free roof if I gave him the comics.
10 grand for the whole thing.
And I'm
Did
like,
she? Was she considering it?
I think she was considering the idea that this pile of stuff was sitting in her living room,
Man.
and it's been under big black tarps in her living room. Like, literally, there was no furniture in the living room.
Right.
It was all her husband's collectibles
Just
stacked up.
in the center.
Trains, big trains, old Lionel trains, steam powered trains, coal powered
Crazy.
coal powered toy trains that you'd burn like a charcoal briquette in to make the engine run. I mean, like, some pretty crazy stuff. But it was all in boxes, all in Rubbermaids, all in these big, just stacked up with Visqueen poured over the top. Um, and I think she was like getting to that point where it was, okay, I don't have to deal with writing a check for the roof, and this guy is willing to come get all the stuff out of here. But there was something in the back of her head that she said they pinched pennies, they pinched pennies.
Yes.
Ugh, I got stuck. They had pinched these pennies for so long.
Yeah.
That, and when her husband was alive, he was so dedicated to the collection and just knowing that he possessed them, he would never sell them. And she just kept reiterating in her head, like, I could have had a different life. This could have been different. Our marriage could have been different. Our finances would have been different.
Right.
Maybe when he died, he would have had more money, and then the last 20 years of my life would be different.
Easier, yeah.
Right. So it's a big emotional roller coaster ride, but I think the reality was trust and being confident that somebody understood what they were looking at and knew the value that was sitting in front of them potentially.
How did you know her or come across this person?
Family friend.
Family friend told you, hey,
yeah.
This woman's got a crazy collection. You might want to go check it out, type of thing. And then you just...
Yeah, because I'll tell you, if I went and got a new job as a restaurant manager, nobody would care. If I got a job as a customer support agent at AT&T, nobody would care.
Yeah.
If I went and sold trucks, nobody would care. But because when somebody finds out that you're a gold and silver dealer, or you're a comic book collector,
mm-hmm.
or hey, you're into this
mm-hmm.
this nerdy stuff,
right?
It actually becomes a talking point for people to share,
right?
And so it got funneled around that I have this side hobby and I've got $1 million worth of stuff in my office, and you should really see it. And you got this pile of junk, you should call this guy.
Right.
And so really almost
these opportunities can come your way when the word gets around.
Yep. And I mean, I'll say this, like anything, the people out there sharing your story about what you do must believe you. Mm-hmm. You can't be a tinkerer. Mm-hmm. You can't be a tinkerer. You can't have one comic and a American Silver Eagle and a stack
right.
of baseball cards from the 80s and call yourself a dealer.
Right.
Like, it just...
No, you have to... you basically have to put your money where your mouth is.
100%. And 100%. And so, having a reputation and having it come, circle around the interwebs or the telephone game with friends and family, it made sense. So I looked at it. I said, this is definitely something I think I'm willing to take the risk on.
Yeah.
Some of the books in here could be worth $1,000 raw.
Right.
Some are worth $5,000 or $6,000, $7,000, $10,000, $13,000 raw. And so when you're looking at, 10,000 books,
mm-hmm.
when you're looking at that,
and you
that
just,
size.
Yep. Go on.
You're saying how many of those out of the 10,000 could potentially be a money, a recoup?
Yes.
And so
to just break even, and then the rest is gravy.
Right. And so basically, if you take 10,000 books and you ask for $9 a book, that's what it would take to get your money back. Right. So.
I didn't even think of it looking at it that way. Just $9 a book. You average it out 10,000 books.
Yeah, that's how you.
Wow.
That's how you do it as an investor.
Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
say, okay, I need $9 a book. Now, if the average book in there is 10 cents, well, that's a lot.
Yeah.
You got to have 10 books to make a buck.
Right.
So the trick was to say, okay, bottom line, it's about $9 a book. I mean, just think about that $1. That would have made it $100,000 deal,
Right.
right? $1
What made you
difference.
go with the 90,000 and not just go 60?
It was what was in the fund money account.
And so you just went with it, but
Yeah.
do you regret though? Like I feel like the way the story goes, like if she was contemplating doing a free roof, which is maybe, $7,000 to $10,000 depending, and she was considering that, then I feel like an offer if you had made like 50 or 60, she would have jumped on it. Do you think you led with too much?
No, because I think the opportunity cost is priceless. The Your reputation is priceless. So if she leaves a happy camper and I got it out of the house that minute,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
she
It
got
was
the
just
money that
done.
minute.
Yeah, yeah.
It
She's
was
not going to turn. Right.
she
If you
there's
lowballed, it would have stalled it. You could have possibly lost the opportunity.
Yeah, she could have picked up the phone and been like, "Oh, this guy offered me blah 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 money," and
Mm,
he could have said, "I'll do your roof and your garden," and okay, boom.
right, right. Could have
So
gone elsewhere.
that, and but most importantly, just being genuine
Right.
to being genuine to the process, which was I got here in this position in this house with the privilege of being able to potentially get all of this because my reputation was such that I would be fair.
Right.
And look, at $9 a book, I think that's fair. At
I
nine
don't.
dollars,
When you put it like that, it's a
mm-hmm.
no-brainer. It's a
Right?
no-brainer. $9 a book. It's a long haul, but you can easily recoup your costs at that. Just at the
Right.
$9. Even if you did $11 a book, right? And some are going to be absolute garbage, and like, okay,
So, there's plenty that are $3 and $4 or $5.
right.
There's plenty that are that.
Those are your practice books for your Panini press that you that you
Start cleaning
got.
and pressing.
Yeah.
I've got the gum. I've got the absorbing.
Oh
I've
my. All
my
you need to do is play some music, put
some
that
Enya.
stuff on there, Enya or whatever it is that you're listening to, and like try to have fun with it on the first ones. Even have Chaw come on over, aka
Chaw.
LT, and have him touch them.
Uh-huh.
You want me to handle them
Si-
books now? Oh,
Tr- Trooper Silver Trooper is constantly in awe, I think, of the mess that I get myself into with this stuff.
yeah, but you know what is cool, and I've been saying to you now, 2 years now, but now this is like the prime opportunity. I've been saying that you essentially finding this collection is essentially what brings the success to the shows Pawn Stars, American Pickers, Storage Wars,
Access to the product.
and the treasure hunt.
Yeah.
Like, and so I hope to God, you've said you have, and I hope that you've been recording these finds as you've been finding them, because again, this is just like a killer I would say it's like a once in a lifetime find that you were able to, like, everybody, like Emil sent me something on TikTok the other day. It was like a bin, like a big, it was a TikTok. It showed a giant Rubber made bin. And if you looked down in the corner and you could see through the plastic, there was a Black Lotus card in a Magic the Gathering. And he's like, it's like these things that you think about going to these garage sales or going to estate
They call them
sales.
the barn find, right?
Yeah.
The number one Mustang that was made that's been buried in a
Yes.
garage since '68.
Yes,
Nobody
you
knew it was there.
Pull over the canvas cloth on the blanket on it.
Right, flat tires, matching engine numbers. Look, I get it, and the reality is, when you're in the midst of it, you don't feel that way.
You do you feel like you're kind of like what is it, Sisyphus, like just pushing the ever ending boulder up the hill, like you just feel like you just got this monumental task of having to catalog, scan,
That's
inventory.
I got to tell you, you know what the scariest part is, and Trooper probably doesn't help because he likes to poke at me as you know one of my best friends in the world. He knows how to get under my skin really fun. Um, he the scariest part to me is that there's so much that if I listed them all today,
Uh-huh.
I dread the idea of having to manage all of the values as time goes on.
Yeah, that's a big inventory.
So managing that inventory is what scares me. Like, okay, so I'll give you all the process. I'll give you the process of what I'm going through. So this could work for anybody who finds any type of collection, and we'll get into more of that. But you take them out. You use a razor blade if you need to cut the old plastic off very carefully. You remove all the tape so that nothing gets stuck or bound.
Yeah.
You have to scan the book with a high resolution scanner. So I have an Epson 900 and it scans at 600 DPI and it only does scans. I did it for cards, Pokemon. It's only for my collectible stuff. It's not like one of those bubble jet scanners. This is designed for image scan. So I do a 600 DPI scan, which takes, 30 seconds aside to go through the process. So you do the front and the back. That not only helps you identify the book as being yours at a later date, it provides you with what you need to list it for sale if it was going to be raw. It also provides the insurance company with enough information to be able to prove you own it and to insure it. And because it's 600 DPI, it allows you to investigate the details of the damage or the dirt or the condition without physically having to handle the book.
Right. You're only doing this, though, with the main ones. You're going to say, to hell with the little ball bags.
Nope.
You're doing every single comic book?
Every single one of them. And
why would you do that, though, if there's some that are like only a $3 book?
Call me a completionist.
No, I think you're spinning your wheels and wasting time on some of them.
Look, that absolutely could be true. But when I look, I have to respect the investment. And if I need $9 a book out of this thing, yeah, there's some big winners in there. There are some big winners in there. But some of those big winners depend on grade. Some of those depend on, some of them don't.
Yeah,
Many, like the Spider-Man 1 can sell for 10, 13,000 raw.
Right.
When it looks like somebody took a weed eater to the side of it, right?
Yeah.
So some of these don't matter, but
that's what I'm saying. The ones that don't matter, don't waste your time scanning the crap.
It's part of my learning experience, and I'm enjoying it.
All right. Well, listen, that's important. If you're enjoying it, right?
Yeah, I get depressed too.
Anxiety, right?
Oh, I'm full of anxiety.
Right.
It's nothing but anxiety because I scan this thing and I'm like, this is a really damn cool book.
Yeah.
I want to keep it, and then
you're sitting. Never get high on your own supply.
Yeah, well, that's tough when you deal the good shit.
Yeah, that's true.
But I'm going through it and I'm like, this is a really awesome book. It was like a Spider-Man Venom copper 3D crystal cracked ice looking cover, and I scanned it. It was like $30. And in my head, I'm going, I would have paid $100 because this is just gorgeous, and it's a $30 comic. A lot of the Supermans. I mean, y'all remember in the early 90s or mid 90s? Do you remember when the death of Superman happened?
Of course. Yeah, well, I was buying a whole bunch of them. I'm going to rebuy those again. I loved it. The iconic image of the cape.
Yeah, the cape
flag.
hanging over.
Yeah.
Right. So, or who killed him? What was his name?
Doomsday.
Doomsday. So, or the Doomsday claw
Yep.
that's stuck in his body,
Yes.
So, I have the entire series of those.
Yeah, there were 7.
But I have them in sealed paper, sealed plastic. Like, they're all wrapped, like manufacturer sealed.
In the poly bags that they came in?
Yep.
I only knew that they did the black one. I didn't know that they had them for the others, because some of them were in different comic runs.
Black, white, red, green. Oh, yeah. So I have them all, and I'm like, wow, this is just cool. And so, like, I'm walking around the marble slab with this book. I don't know how much you'll can see.
No, you're doing it. Yeah, we see you doing it.
But I'm walking around with this thing, and I set it down, and I scan it, and I'm like, okay, I'm just scan. Keep in mind, I didn't open it because it's sealed.
Right.
So I'm scanning the outside package. That could be considered a waste of time. And then I scan the book, and it says it's $11. And I'm like, this is a mint, flawless, never seen air, never been
Uh-huh.
touched by human hands, and it's only $11. Guess what, guys? That's the beauty. That's why I don't just walk away from these things, even the small ones. The beauty of this game that we play is, what other industry can you get something of so much substantial or substance to look at, to hold, to open if you really wanted to grade,
To
to
read.
collect,
Yep.
to read, to store,
And the feeling
to
that you get with it.
for $11.
Right. No, it's a
I
good
mean,
point. And a lot of people don't. I think I may have sent you the video where it's like the world's largest comic collection or something. It was something like that. And the guy he was just talking about the medium of the storytelling with the art, that it is something that only a handful of people truly understand or appreciate. Like, other people, they view it as nerdy and everything. And what a lot of people don't realize is this stuff really actually isn't really entirely intended for children. You know what I mean? It's go ahead.
it was an affordable way. You're right. It was an affordable way for artists to be artists, writers to be writers, and to explore a creative medium that they couldn't afford to do unless it was in a movie.
Yeah.
I mean, look at what we're doing with movies now. Now, I'm no nerd, and that's, well, okay. I might be a nerd, but
It's different.
I'm no nerd.
Nerds are cool now.
Oh yeah, they can be, and but to me, it's less about like I understanding what's in every book and following the storyline.
It's too
and
much.
being a purist. Like,
Yeah.
the movie was wrong because
Right.
yada yada actually happened.
No,
in the
that's a
book.
different
Like that,
level.
that's not my shtick. But the idea that you have images like the Punisher and Spider-Man,
Yeah.
that shaped that nerdy book, shaped the largest cinematic universe on planet Earth.
Yep. Yep. Absolutely.
Talk about history making.
I know.
That's the original script. That's the original script for the movie. And when you think about it like that, there's so many avenues that you can travel down. Look, let's compare coins. When you buy coins, you can look at who minted it.
Mm-hmm.
You can look at where it was minted. You can look at the quality of the minting,
Mm-hmm.
and the variations within that minting, and the composition of what it's minted out of. That's essentially what you have to going for you on a coin. With these, you have the quality of the book,
Yep.
the quality of the paper, the quality of the book, the quality of the story, what's on the cover,
The
what's
name,
on the inside pages.
the name of the individuals that were involved. Are they big hitters
names.
or unknowns?
That's
Yeah.
right. The artists,
Yep.
the writers,
Yep.
who signed it, what's it great.
The character's first appearance, last appearance, different different costumes. First time that you have the black Spider-Man costume, like
That 1000% matters. And so if you have the itch to scratch to be into collectibles, and you want to have one of those collectibles that has a lot of room for error, alternative assets collectibles, and you want a lot of room for error where you can go horizontal and vertical without really making any mistakes, then I couldn't recommend comic books enough.
yeah,
When you talk about sports cards, let me tell you something. You either vintage with the
Yep.
goats, or
Yep,
you've
or
got
you're-
it. You lucky with
Yeah.
riding that modern wave and finding that Mike Trout
one of
just,
one,
just before he right.
shaved
You know-
baseball bat piece or piece of the game worn jock strap or whatever.
Unfortunately, they're not the memorabilia that's inserted isn't even that cool anymore. But it's
Yeah.
like they print this card and they say it's one of one or one of 10, and you got to be timing, market, condition, and you better hope he doesn't get on there and like get drunk and get a DWI because
Yeah.
the market will tank on him. So
Yeah.
comics, because of the wide variety, the wide mouth of the funnel that you can get involved with and cherish it, is something that you can hold on to, appreciate, collect, and watch grow. And I will say this unabashedly: coins, comics, cards, Pokemon, diamonds, jewelry, those are pretty much even oil. Those are things that I personally invest and collect in. And comics, without doubt, comic books, without even a second flinch, is the most valuable alternative asset in my entire portfolio. When it comes to
When you say
leverage.
when you say oil,
Mm-hmm.
Olive or vegetable?
Black.
Now, here's the thing. The title for this stream, right, was, is it better to be collecting comics or coins? And what I liked about the one point that you brought up was the fact that comics have so many extra dimensions to them than coins do. Coins, what I like about coins is obviously the intrinsic value. The value will never be zero. I've been a comic book collector in the past where I got to see the collection worth go down to like virtually nothing in value. Mm-hmm. And then lo and behold, here comes COVID, and it makes everything collectible cool again. So, as you were saying to me on the phone, if you do kind of view these alternative assets as a different dimension to your portfolio. I mean, if you got it, as ridiculous as some people might think that sounds, okay, it actually does make a lot of sense. You're not putting all of your eggs in one basket when it comes to silver and gold. You're also not putting all of your eggs in one basket when it comes to buying Bitcoin or Ethereum. Mm-hmm. You're not putting all of your money just in stocks. These have proven that they hold value. They fluctuate in value just like the stock market would. They, in times of recession, they can drop off. A movie comes out, or it's rumored that a character is going to be hitting the screen, or you have the first appearance of somebody in their own series on Disney Plus. Like, then you start to see like spikes in it, right? There's like an entire industry that revolves around it. And to be 100% honest with you, in my opinion, I think these are a hell of a lot more enjoyable to have displayed in the office and to look at than coins. And go ahead.
I agree.
It's just so much better to look at. It's just
it's art. Look, I mean, you could take a mortgage out on your house and go bid on a Van Gogh, and everybody's like, "Oh, cool sunflower. Yeah, that's a Van Gogh. Wow, this guy must be rich." Or you can put this stuff in your treasure chest and have a walking, readable, colorful, touchable, tangible history of pop culture.
Yeah. And the funny thing is, though, with this, some people are like, you can't even read it. It's in a slab. What are you going to even do with it? And I'll tell you, and here's the weird thing, and I think I may have told you this, when I was a kid, I would never read my comic books. I would go to the store, buy it, put it right into the poly bag with the board, tape it shut, go home, and catalog it alphabetically. This is when I was like 6th grade, 5th grade. And then once a month you get the Wizard Price Guide book. Do you remember the Wizard Price Guide book? And like almost Beckett. As if it was, yes, and then you had the Beckett for those sports cards. And it was almost like the stock market but for children. And that's what I would do. I would look at the comics, I would look at the baseball cards and everything. And so, to me, this is not really like anything different than when I was like a kid. It's like I would do the same thing. Now it's just in a harder case, but I would never read them. The only books that I read was, you brought it up, was the Death of Superman, because I was intrigued. Like, how can Superman even die?
Right.
And I remember, I have vague memories of, there was another small publisher called, I think it was called Dark Horse, and they did Predator versus Batman. And I read that, but the rest I never read them.
Yeah, I think that, the idea of a comic or the funny books or the funnies or whatever you wanted to call them, I think the idea of short form creative storytelling has evolved. And if you really wanted to read what's in the book, you can join one of those membership sites for $10 and get a digital copy of it, and you could read the book. And you don't need to be a comic collector to do it if you just want to be an avid follower of the storyline. But you look at some of this almost like coin people do. See, I look at junk silver and go, ugh, God, what a pain in the ass.
That's what I look at. That's like filthy, grimy crap.
Right. And then I look at some people who sell these really trashed coins. They put it in a coin flip to try to make it look more valuable or like it's protected. And it's a junk coin they got out of the dollar bin. Okay.
Why are you telling them my strategies?
Your secrets, the dollar bin. They all knew it was coming.
Look There's at no the luster bomb.
Look at this blast white beauty.
White.
It came right out of my own personal vault. Okay. You pulled it out of your trunk from underneath the car jack from that day you stopped in at the coin shop and picked this shit up from the dollar bin. I know what you're doing. Why do I know that? Because if you got it from a store, that store owner would have already sent it in for grade. Okay? So that's what's going on there. But the point I'm making is you see these people selling that stuff, and people will buy it because they've convinced themselves that they're preserving some element of history.
Yeah.
And that they need to add this to their collection because adding something is better than adding nothing.
Yes.
And they find a reason why they should pay for it, and then they give themselves 100 reasons why they should pay even more for it. Like, I'm not going to beat up on them, but goldbacks, they're relatively not super valuable, but potentially in the future they might be. But what it is an awesome entry into the collectibles world. It's a beautiful premium example of what it is to become a collector.
Yeah.
So if you want to collect something pretty, something fun, something interesting to look at that might have some value more intrinsically than literal, but you want to do it, then invest in some goldbacks or buy some goldbacks and start building your stack, right? Mm-hmm. Well, when it comes to this sort of stuff, comics, the best part about it is you can go to your comic store and go to the 50-cent bin, the 25-cent bin. You can go on eBay, look for the lowest price. You can find graded comic books for $20, $25. I mean, let me see if I can do this since there's no studio lights on. Like this is Scorched #1, the variant cover H. Let's see if you can see it. It's Spawn. It's a sketch.
That's cool.
It is very cool. This is
How much did you pay?
I want to say $30.
See, that's crazy because now you got it in a 9.8.
Mm-hmm.
And you only had to pay $20-$30. You scratched that itch, and now you got that book. And who knows? I mean, there's only upside potential there. The cost of the grading alone is
$30.
Yeah.
And so, how does this even happen? Well, the same way it kind of happens in the coin world is a shop will get a bunch of these books in,
right?
And they'll send a whole book because they can get them for $1. You know, they're not paying cover price; they're paying $1 or $2 for the book. So they take a whole case of them. They send them off slow and steady to CGC to get graded. And, 75% of them come back in 9.8. Some come back in
9.6, 9.4.
9.6, 9.4, 9, whatever. And, they can most of the time make their money back on it and give people another reason. But how many crappy coins have we caught ourselves buying and going, I'm going to put this back in the crappy coin sock because one day this might be worth it, when you could have this sitting in your vault.
Right. But then it comes to then it just comes down to like everybody's preference and what people see the value in certain things. Like again, like if I told some of my friends, or if I even I can't even imagine like having a conversation with like my stepfather or my mom or oh yeah, I bought this for $4,400. They would be like, what in the actual F is wrong with you? You know what I mean?
But you can't. Your job as a collector or as an investor isn't to convince someone that your investment strategy is right. Mm-hmm. Your job is to be able to put your head down on your pillow at night and know that you're not at the casino dropping your paycheck.
See,
okay?
Now the one thing I do think about is present time. Like we did see the spike in the pandemic time period. So I do wonder at times, are we in the proverbial dip? Are we still on the way up? Or is it like one of those things where some books are up, some books are down?
Well, I think it's just like coins and just like anything else, when you get into different tiers of purchasing power, you get into different pain points. So if you're somebody who's used to buying 1 ounce of silver or a couple of 1 ounce rounds or coins or whatever from auctions on YouTube, And that's what's in your budget threshold. There's nothing wrong with that. But you're going to be more impacted by things like premium.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to be more impacted by secondary or third market.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to be more impacted by the little things, even shipping. You're going to be more impacted by those things because you're playing in a smaller budgetary arena. There's no sin in that, but it is it's the nature of the beast. When you talk about comics, cards, coins that are in that top tier echelon, it doesn't matter. It matters not, because the guy who's dedicated, or the gal who's dedicated to getting that piece, understands its overall value. Now, does that mean that it's a no, you should cash in all your little stuff and go all in on a big thing? No, because I think part of our generational problem, culture problem, the culture problem today is that people are being taught not to be comfortable in their own skin, not to have a backbone, not to stand on your own beliefs. And I don't mean that religiously. I don't mean that politically. I don't mean that in any other way other than what you literally believe in doing. Some people would consider what we're doing here a complete waste of time. Why would you spend 2 hours in the middle of your week doing this when you could be spending time with family? You could be riding a bike. You could go camping. You do any number of other things, right? We just happen to find value in sharing our information with the world. So I think that culturally speaking, we need more people to dedicate themselves to a task and stick to it to become better as a civilization and as a society. Coins, comics, crypto, whatever it is, dedicate yourself to the art of the craft. Appreciate it for what it's designed to be. And don't look back. Don't watch a YouTube video of somebody like me saying, don't buy gold backs. Yeah. Because that's what I'm standing on, my belief.
Right.
But if you should stand on your belief, if that's where you want to put your money, then you put it there and let no one talk you from it.
It's hard though, right? You get the outside influence and people will listen. You know, that's part of the problem too, is people can be very, very swayed. I mean, I'm sure you have plenty of times people can lead you down a different direction of something that you wanted to do, and that's just the way things are.
What's that?
I was just going to ask you, because this is newer, the comic thing with you, I didn't know you were into comics until I started buying them.
Showing me yours, and
then you're like, God damn it, you're like, here, look, I'm buying Spawn. When you went on that Spawn spree, you bought all of those like first Spawns and 9/8s all signed and everything. And it's just it's funny to me how, and I've said to you all the time when we talk, you and I think a lot alike. It's just crazy, and so it's like, yeah, besties. So there's besties, you know. I just it's cool that, you know, I took to YouTube to talk about coins because I had nobody else to talk to about it, and so I found a community. And, you know, within that community, finding people who are like-minded, you know, Sean's Precious, Bullion, you, and then, like, pretty much, by and large, almost everybody in the chat, surprisingly, they're into it. You know, when I first started bringing out the comics, I told you originally, number one, I collected them, I liked them, so I kind of wanted to have them, and number two, I was doing it as a way to branch into the different niches, to try to get my channel into both worlds of coins and also comics, and it worked. I was able to pull some people in from the comic book world into the world of coins, and some of those actually did translate into sales on coins, and then they started buying the comics. It's just a lot more enjoyable, a lot more fun. I'm thinking these people have been so damn patient with us. Before you and I continue talking, I think we should give this bad boy away. What do you think?
I think so. Should we? So, talk about it first, because you know I don't like gauze, so we're gonna talk ourselves out of it being a gaw. Although I agree to it.
A thank you. It's a thank you
yeah.
for attending our very first stream and help test the audio with us.
There you go. So this is a Todd McFarlane cover.
Yeah, I was telling them earlier, but go on.
It's a Todd McFarlane cover. I'm going to tell you guys if you don't know yet, Todd McFarlane is the next Stan Lee. This Spider-Man in particular was the very first time that Marvel allowed an outside artist,
A Canadian.
a Canadian at that,
There's the major thing right there. Go on.
an outside artist do Spider-Man exactly the way he wanted to. If you look at the old Spider-Mans, the muscular, the vascular, the muscles, the striations, it was very smooth. It was almost
rubbery, plasticky, two-dimensional.
Correct. And Todd McFarlane spent years trying to convince Marvel, whom he worked for, to allow him as an artist to explore different dimensions and different webs. And they finally said, you know what? Shut up and do a cover. So he did this cover, and it sold more than any other. This cover here sold more than any other Spider-Man in the Spider-Man's entire production history. This cover set Todd McFarlane off on a path that has made him who he is. Marvel let him have the chance. Marvel gave him the opportunity, but he took it. And this beautiful piece is what reinvigorated Spider-Man and Marvel Comics megafold.
Yeah.
And they come in a variety of well, there you go. They come in a variety of variants. They have the black, the white, the gold, the silver, the green. They even have the platinum edition.
I was talking to them about the platinum. Do you have any idea how much those go for? Like $5K maybe?
The platinum ones?
Yeah, I don't even know.
So back when I was shopping for one, they would range in the probably $2,600 and up mark.
Now what?
But it depends on what's available. So
Yeah.
if you're the only guy on eBay selling,
right,
you could be asking $6,500.
Right.
If there's two or three, then they might be at $4,500.
What would you pay for one?
The platinum, $4,000.
And no, do you know what the number?
I would pay more. Hold on, I would pay more. To be honest, I would pay more, but. And I don't know. There could be some listed right now, and somebody in the chat's going to go, "Oh, there's one for $2,500." That's could be, but what I think it's worth and what I would be no-brainer paying. I always look at that too, Stormy. I look at something and I go, "What is the no-brainer price?" No matter what the market is.
Yeah.
And that no-brainer price means if I run across it at that price, I don't need to know what the comps were. I want it, and it's worth this much to me.
Right.
That's probably the $4,000 mark for me.
That's kind of what I was thinking with the Punisher one.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I bought it. $4,400. Yeah. I mean, I just here. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna switch to the wheel, and then I'm gonna add your desktop audio. Right now, you're gonna be unheard. I have to add you. This is what the problem was. Audio output capture, add source, add the desktop audio. Okay, go ahead, say something.
Hello.
There you go. I just want to check your frame here, and this is both of our frames. I just want to add. May as well let them see a little behind the scenes. Who gives a crap? They don't care. Audio output. We're all friends in here anyway. Desktop audio. Add the source. Boom. Go ahead. Wait. Yep. Say test.
This is a test.
All right. And then let me just see if you're in here. Say test again.
Test.
All right. Good. So now we're on the spin wheel, guys. I don't know if you guys like the design here. I actually designed that. Whoops. I was sending John the text messages every single time I made a little change there. And let's do... I'm going to type in this, and you guys are going to have to type this in. Let's see. What should we do? Should we do it?
Should we do a trivia question?
Well...
What I don't understand...
Because we're spinning a wheel, so it's the first 20. We could do a trivia.
I don't know how this works because clearly I don't do them. So what? Tell me how the rules work on this spinner thing, and I'll come up with something.
Yeah. Say it again. You just come up with a phrase. They type it.
Oh,
and then the first 20 get in, and yeah. and then it's like a lucky person.
Okay, so type in this Precious Metals Unfiltered show every Monday night. uh, what? Let's do. Ooh, I got it. I got it.
You want to
Type
text it to me?
Yeah, but
text it, and then I'll put it in there. I'll say, okay, guys, here you go, and then type it. Or you type it in the chat.
no, I don't want to type it because.
All right, text it to me.
That's gonna be the reveal.
Text it, and then I'm gonna type it, and then they have to basically they have to go with that. So I'm standing by for you. Let's see. Okay, I'm typing it in.
No, you can't type it. You got to tell them the directions, otherwise it reveals the answer. Which one is it?
Okay.
You get it?
Yeah, I do. However,
this is complicated shit, guys.
Yeah, you're making it complicated. Listen, all they have to do is I'm just here. Trivia is a different time. We're gonna do trivia another time.
All right. I want to make them work for it. I want to make them work.
All right. Well, I made this spin wheel, so we're gonna freaking use the goddamn spin.
That's what this comes down to. Okay, I'm with you there.
So here we go. Yeah, even Troopers in there saying, "Damn it, DOA, fuck, chaw."
Chaw.
All right, here's what we're going to do. Type this in. Here we go. All right.
I need a shirt that says "fac."
I've been saying that for a while. There you guys. Type that in. DOA is my bestie. Type it in. DOA is my bestie. Type it in. They have to type it in. DOA is my bestie. And then we will spin the wheel. John Hyatt wrote, Duabis. Duabis is my bestie.
All I know is looking at this comment thread, that I have a lot of best friends.
You have many friends. And we are the 48 very best friends anybody can have. All right,
Make
guys,
sure
go ahead.
Y'all hit while y'all are waiting for him to do whatever it is he's doing, can y'all hit the like button for us?
I just spun it. And it is 17. So
that's on the line, baby.
That's
that
on the line,
close.
but it says 17 right above where you say what? It's true. So we got lucky number 17. And so let me bring this up here, and we're going to count down 17. All right, let's go back to the main screen. Cover your face with the... All right, so we're going to do 17. Here we go. All right, let's see. Good luck, guys. 1, 2, 3. I'll count it. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and guess who won it? 17. Sean Precious Bullion. And
SPB?
I got to tell you something. I'm really happy that he got that, because in my opinion, he's arguably the biggest comic book guy in this chat.
That's awesome.
He
Congratulations,
knows
SPB.
his stuff.
Silver Trooper's now going to go leave us a 1-star review.
Yeah, he will. Well, I'm not going to be attending that any longer. I'm going to be putting down that's just a 1-star there. I would have given y'all 2 stars, but not anymore. No.
Hey, here comes the crowns with the middle finger. The crowns with the middle finger.
Dislike.
Coming.
He just wrote dislike.
I can't see anything, so I'm
this
flying
is going
blind.
this is going to SPB, guys. So
Congratulations.
Couldn't be going to a more deserving individual who truly appreciates comics. You know? So, and what I like too, you had this idea, John. You're like, what if we do a segment of how did you fuck up your wallet?
How did you burn up your credit card this week?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
And so, would you like to start? Because I kind of started this freaking bender starting last week.
So the idea was we all make mistakes and we all make irrational decisions sometime in our lives.
Mm-hmm.
and usually it's more often than not. And I sometimes we talk about it on the other show that I do on Monday nights with Paulie. I'll talk about like I walked in and bought a $20,000 gold bracelet
Jesus.
or something, right?
Yeah.
Because it was worth 30 and I paid 20, and so that 10,000. So
Right.
whatever.
In your head, you justify, wow,
I
what
justify
a
it.
deal.
Right.
And you still paid
that,
20.
and I still paid the 20. And that's a car.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a down payment on a house. So
Mm-hmm.
I love the idea of being transparent enough with our audience to be able to share what stupid shit we've done this week.
I did. I would. I'm gonna let you go first, and then I'll share. I'm gonna do a combo between last week and this week.
Okay, so this week, I spent $5,800 on comic book cleaning and pressing supplies.
Oh my god. When you told me you did this, I was like, what are you doing? But once you told me the explanation, I was like, oh, okay.
Well, I mean, like it was $4,600 or something for somewhere in that neighborhood for a 9 comic book press, which is basically a big hot waffle iron. It helps press the books, get the wrinkles out, flattens out anything, and it's you keep it under there for like 24 hours, and yes,
no,
you heat it for 15 minutes, and you leave it flat for 24.
Okay.
Let it cool flat.
Let it burn. Cool flat. How long do you heat it?
15 minutes maximum.
Okay, good. Because you said you put it in there and okay. Whew.
No, but and depending on the paper, depending on the ink, so depending on what age the comic is, determines whether you use 120 degrees or 160 degrees or 140. So there's actually some math involved and chemistry involved with pressing comic books. But if you stick a $20,000 raw comic book in this thing and you screw it up, well, it's significant screw up. So it takes a lot of practice and patience, and I've dedicated myself to trying to learn that art because I have 10,000 books that all probably could use a cleaning and a press. And so I'll take some of the ones that have little to no value.
Yep.
And I'll practice. But I'll tell you, it saves 3 to 6 months. It saves $100. Saves 3 to 6 months is massive.
Yeah. And again, think about this again. You said you have 10,000 books. Essentially, you can just keep pressing away, cleaning away, all the way up until you're going to, by and large, because like once you do 100 books, you're going to be pretty damn good at doing it.
Right. I might as well do it for people. Like not that I want to, but I'll have the capability to do it. And like you can buy a single book press. You can buy one that's perfectly sized for a comic. You can buy a 15 by 15 so that you can fix the rolled spines. I'm not sure if you got into any of that stuff, but rolled spines is pretty common where the staple actually sits sideways on the book rather than perpendicular or parallel. So you can fix spine roll, you can fix binding, you can fix wrinkles. The only thing you can't really fix is color break, and that's where
those ticks on the side where you have the wear of the ink on the book, and it shows on the black, especially.
Right, and black is really hard, but if you iron them out or press them and clean them, you can shoot this thing up a half a point or a point, which can be hundreds or thousands of dollars on a comic. So learning the skill to me is almost more important. But you said earlier, like it's a waste of time. Well, I agree. You can buy a single book. You can buy a 15 by 15, or you can buy a 2-book, a 4-book, or I bought a 9-book press so that it can do 9 books of the same era at the same time. So because it takes 24 hours to let it cool and sit flat after you press it, I've seen some people take them hot and put them in another manual press. That to me looks like a pain in the ass. So I would rather 9 books at a time, get them done, and move on to the next set of 9.
Is it turned up to the temperature it needs to be and then you put them on, or?
Yes.
Okay, so and what people need to know too, because there's layers. It's not like you're just sticking the book on there. You're actually putting the different board in between the cover and the pages.
Yeah.
And in the center. Go on.
You're using blotting paper.
Mm-hmm.
You're using archival paper. You're using cookie sheets. I mean, wax paper, PCA paper. There's all kinds of different, but you layer it throughout the book. You use a piece of magazine back or cardstock to help keep the spine from being smushed. Most spines should come out of the manufacturer like this.
Yeah.
But as they age and get stacked, they turn.
Yeah.
So the goal is to stick them straight back up. So it is actually a process. Now, you don't just put them in there hot. You put them in a humidity chamber. So they have to sit in a humidity chamber for 6 to 8 hours to become not wet, not damp, and not wrinkly, but supple. I found a way to use that word on a live supple, so, like your hands.
So go on.
I was just gonna say, so that's the process. Is you got a you put them in the humidity chamber, let them get soft, then you immediately transfer it on the hot press,
grilled
like
cheese.
A panini panini sandwich, 10, 12, 15 minutes, depending on the age and the paper composition. And then you cut the machine off and you sort of just let it cool. Thing. Let it cool and
set
once
it
cools,
it.
That's right. You let it 24 hours, you come back and you can re-clean.
When you do the Amazing Spider-Man, you have to video record.
My suicide video?
Doing it, yeah.
That's
like when you go ahead.
Well, earlier you were saying recording. Yes, I'm actually using my regular webcam right now because I have taken apart my studio camera to shoot content. Because I do believe that you were right. Paulie was right.
Wait, say that again.
Paulie was right.
Yeah.
And Silver, I almost said his name. Silver Trooper was right.
Yeah.
That's it. Those two were right about making content. You were right. How
long have I been on your ass
2
about
years.
This? Okay.
2 years. 2 years. So, but you're right. Me as a business person, me as an entrepreneur, was always trying to find a reason to do it.
Yeah.
And out of boredom wasn't a good enough reason for me.
Yeah. But don't you like that I pointed out the reason?
It's business, right?
I said, like, this is all towards your graded 10.
Yeah, so I own graded10.com. The website is down because I never really got committed to putting it up with all the product on there. So with these comics and the cards and the Pokemon and the sports and all the sealed product I have, I am planning on launching Graded 10 to be a store for collectors, by collectors, and be very fair in pricing in the process. Fair meaning what I believe, not what eBay tells me to believe, based on information and research. And right about now, Silver Trooper's rolling his eyes and going, God, his prices are going to be high. Whatever. He likes winning 99-cent auctions off of my eBay account. But Stormy, Paulie, and Silver Trooper all said business.
Yep.
And this is a good way for me to document the process, document what I'm doing and why I'm doing it, document the journey. And look, I have the equipment for it, and I have the ability to do it.
You have, and you've got and I said to you, you have content there for weeks and weeks of content, just because of the I said, talk about the deal, talk about the discoveries, talk about, look, I found in here, look at tune in next week and you're going to see the other comic that I got in this. Yeah.
I was going to say, can Ted Jones drop the link to my YouTube? Not that there's anything on it.
Of course he can. Yeah, I don't care. Come on now.
I know, but I asked once. Now I'm going to take advantage of it. But Ted, if you can drop the link to my YouTube, I will say this before Randy gets a chance to. Randy Matthews. I used to have a YouTube channel that talked business, which is where my audience came from. And I pulled all the videos down because 2 years ago when this process began, Stormy said, listen, I think you need to streamline your content based on what you actually want to talk about. And I don't want to talk business anymore. I don't mind sharing. I don't mind having conversations like this. But I definitely am not out to teach because I've had enough of that. I've had enough. So I pulled all that stuff down. So go subscribe. I promise at some point I'm going to be producing content. Until then, I do a show with Paulie on Mondays. I usually, which is Precious Metals Unfiltered. You can go find that channel and sub to it. I usually come into Stormy's auctions on Tuesdays and try to make him say crass things. You've almost gotten there. You've almost said that, right? No.
I think once.
Well, maybe I caught you once. But I usually go hang out in different places, and like Randy Matthews says, I'm the most famous YouTuber with absolutely no content.
Yeah.
I
wonder how many others of you there are. Like hang-arounds. You're like the dude on the couch right now. Until you make your own home, it's like you show up on another channel. Like, who's this guy? That's my dude on the couch.
Yes. Yeah, I'm like
but
a roadie.
Soon you're a roadie. You're just. But soon
I'm salivate metal. I'm salivate metal during a Kiss concert. Yeah, man.
But soon you're gonna have content and
and
you'll have your own home.
And I'd like you guys to follow along because I am going to produce the story. I'm a fickle character because if I don't feel like there's any momentum behind it, then I'll get, distracted and disappointed like any other human.
Yep.
So if y'all follow along, that would be great. I'd love to see the subs so that when I do go live with it. But back to the point of all of this, which is you said to document it. You said I should use it as a platform to launch the graded 10 site, which sells the stuff. Like you sell precious metals on Empire Precious Metals.
Yep.
And you use a lot of your content to give people access to that outlet. You use your social media to provide them with discounts, and like you did a good discount this past week for Memorial Day, right?
Yes.
And you saw a lot of traffic and traction from it. One of the things Silver Trooper has always said to me is in line with what you say, and that's, a lot of these guys who are considered industry influencers all started making crappy videos. They all started making just crap. And they just consistently did it. They got better, and they built up massive followings. There's a guy called Card Collector 2 who documented his buying of his first card shop. And it was sort of like this video blog of the process.
Yeah.
Not all the dirty details, but, like sort of the fun stuff. And that guy has amassed such a following from it that he can sell thousands of cards that he picks up at shows.
No problem.
No problem. A line of people. And look, I don't know. I'm not saying that it can't happen, but who has 10,000 books with nowhere to put them? Me.
Right.
I would love to maybe one day do something where we could get you guys all involved and go, hey, I'm going to send all of this stuff off for cleaning, pressing, and grading, unless you want to buy it. And here's what market is. Here's what maybe give you guys an opportunity to get a hold of some of this stuff. I'm not into the selling stuff anymore, but that's what Graded 10 needs to be as part of my business opportunity, I guess. So, all in all, I'm looking forward to making some content. And this show with you gives me a different outlet that I don't have with Precious Metals Unfiltered, which is the metal show with Paulie. This show allows me to talk about the different side of that alternative asset world with somebody who thinks a lot like me, which is scary. You and I with a fucking MX card
would be bad news.
Oh my God. It's like two drunks walking into a bar. Yeah. Right? I mean,
it'd be so bad. So bad.
So we know how to push each other in a very positive but negative way. Like, here's a $6,000 thing. Should I get it?
Oh, like, yeah, of course.
Why did you even stop and ask? You didn't buy it now?
It's
all right, you bastard. Fine.
And the thing is, too, because I would get stabbed if I fully disclosed the prices of some of these things to my wife. And, I'm watching your stream. I'm like, this freaking guy gets these $90,000 books, and you're like, hey, look what else I got. And then you show like first appearance of Wolverine. I'm like, God damn it. I'm like, that's it. I'm freaking buying this thing. And you're like, I'm proud of you. I'm like a proud dad.
I'm like, yeah, go spend that money, baby. I'm a proud dad. Well, the silly part is that we are just our nature is not. I'm not a FOMO guy. Like, I don't feel like I'm missing out on things.
Yeah.
But I'm a completionist, and I like commitment.
Yeah.
And I kind of dig my heels in on it. And it really frustrated me when you decided to sell all those beautiful comics that you had amassed because you got distracted.
Yeah.
And you were focused on your business at the time, and it made perfect business sense to sell them.
Yep.
And having somebody like me in that background going, "Oh, I'm still here."
Right.
And I'm still collecting.
Right.
And oh, look what I did.
Right.
It re-triggered that for you.
Yes.
And you're like, you know what? There was a reason I had them. There's a reason I wanted them, and there's a reason I should still go get them.
Yep.
Now I can say one thing we don't do is we don't do pissing matches. That's
you would win every single one. That's why I don't even participate.
but that's true. But that we don't do that, and it's never a jealousy thing. It's or like a lusting, or I need to have it. It's nothing like that. It's more like, hey, you looked at that Spider-Man, that Punisher, that triggered something for you. You had it. I'm proud that you now have made the decision to go back and get it.
Because I'm happy.
Now I know you're happy, and you could sell it and make $100. You could sell it and maybe make $300.
Right.
But buying it back isn't nearly as fun as knowing that you have it at $4,400 or $4,000, and next year it's worth $6,000.
Yeah,
it's worth $6,000 now.
Yeah,
but
I made a let's see here, and I made a list. Like, I already know. Like, I've got my list of stuff that I'm going after. Wolverine 1, Patch, where he's kind of like, come here, I'm going to get that. Spider-Man 300, Spider-Man 340. I have the whole list, and then as I get them, I'm putting little check marks next to them. I will say, Hulk 181 is something that I'm definitely going to try to get at some point. I don't know what kind of grade I'll get it in, though, but that's one that I really want. But you know what? It scared me because I had this, which was already a stretch for me.
Uh-huh.
And then I was eyeing Hulk 181.
Mm-hmm.
And I was looking at the price. I wanted an 8.0, no less.
No less than an 8.0?
Yep. And it was like $8,000.
Yep.
And I was actually really considering it. And then I was like, I can't do that. I cannot go and drop I'm a freaking teacher. I can't go drop $8,000 on it. Yeah.
There it is.
Now, the problem is you don't have the high def camera on right now, but just looking at that through your camera now, it looks freaking awesome. It looks really good.
It is. I got to say, it's got no rolled spine. It has no spine ticks, no page ticks. There is no color break. There's no color break.
Did you take it out of the plastic and the board?
I have scanned it, yes.
When you took it out, was there a lot of waviness in the cover?
I'll take it out now.
No, don't, because we're not going to really be able to tell.
I'm going to take it out to show everybody that they shouldn't be scared of this stuff.
I mean, that thing looks... how are the corners? They look pretty damn intact.
They are perfectly sharp. This one has a... where's my camera? This one right here...
Yeah. I see a little crease or something? What is it? No.
It's not a crease. It's a fur.
Like a scuff.
It's a fur.
Okay.
It's a little fur. I'm trying to get it in the shadow.
Yeah, no, it's there.
But it is not anything that would knock it.
No, that looks good. That looks really good, John.
This is a crease.
Can't see. You won't be able to see because of the
Okay,
the
so
glare.
there's a crease on the back, but that can be fixed immediately with a press. Correct. So this is a Hulk 181 in probably the best shape I've ever seen one. I mean,
no, dude, you got a really good one there.
It's like.
Can I make a suggestion too?
What's that?
I said this to you before. I'm going to say it again. Get that slabbed and graded. Get the Amazing Spider-Man slabbed and graded. Get a couple of those Silver Surfers that mean a lot to you. Yeah,
Giant
that one
X-Men.
too. That one is another one I was looking at.
This is a big book. The Giant Size X-Men.
Yep, that's the first appearance of the whole new team.
Silver Surfer.
So these that you're pulling at right now,
yep,
these are the ones that you should slab and grade. and are the ones that I think you should keep in your stack, in your collection.
I agree. Silver Surfer #1. Look at that. That's just classic art.
Yeah. No, it's just it's stuff that looks like our parents would have grown up with, and you should just appreciate the style. It's.
If I could get this in a full-size poster, think about how awesome that would be on your wall.
Well, I'm pretty sure you can.
I'm sure you can, but
so. And I think you sell a lot of the bulk of the 10,000 books, and these are the ones that you keep as your reward, because those are these Grail books that, they're just awesome.
Let me show the people what you want to show them.
Yeah, see?
This is Amazing Spider-Man #1.
It's just freaking insane that
you can see tape.
Yeah.
Tape. Look, but this is pretty common for this.
I mean, book. Guys, kids did not keep they would roll them up, they would throw them, they would smack bugs with them. Like, it wasn't.
This is Amazing Spider-Man #2. The second one in the world.
So is that the very first appearance of what's that guy, Vulture? What the hell's that old
Vulture,
man?
Yeah.
Is that the first appearance of Vulture? If that's the second,
yes.
Wow.
And then this.
Wait. What? Is Amazing Spider-Man, like, I forget what numbers SPB would know.
There's
the first appearance of Sandman.
I don't know that, but this one is actually probably more expensive than the other two raw. This is Spider-Man #3.
Doc Ock. Holy shit.
This is definitely more expensive raw than 1 and 2. But I literally have...
John, those are slabbed and graded and keepers. You slab, grade, keep.
You wanted to know?
Yeah.
This is Spider-Man #4. Yeah. Sandman.
There it is. Yep. See? That's another one. Damn.
Sandman. This is Spider-Man #6.
Wait.
The Lizard.
What happened to 5?
It's just not in that order. That's 6. The Lizard. This is 7. The Vulture Returns.
Such an ugly character.
Electro.
See?
Electro. Let's see. This is Spider-Man and the first appearance of the Human Torch.
Yeah, man. So
this is the
before.
I mean,
yeah. Before you go through all 10,000 books.
No, I'm not. I'm just showing them because not everybody would.
That one is popular too right now.
This is 102. This is the first full transformation of Bruce Banner into
Hulk. Do you think you will get? Do you think you will get the very first Hulk?
I have it.
Where he's a gray.
I have the very first Hulk. I have
my God.
I have the very first Thor. I have the very first X-Men. I have the first Wolverine. This is
no brainer.
You like Hulk 181?
Yeah.
This is Hulk 180.
Oh yeah, that's another big one. Yep.
It's another huge book.
Wow.
So I have the first of many, and like this is a very cool color. This is the cover. This is the giant size Fantastic Four. Value wise, it's not that actually expensive, but like, let me explain this. If you could buy the wait.
Now,
Twinsies.
Yeah. Now, what would you? How's the condition?
It has minor spine roll, which can again be fixed with a press. It has no corner chipping. There's no corner bashing. There's no corner bleeding.
Crazy, dude. It's just crazy that you got all these.
There's no color break, but there are some creases in the spine, and the staples are slightly rolled. So this would need a press, a clean, and it would need a
lick. You'd have to lick it.
I'd have to lick it. I'd have to lick it so the spine stuck straight up. But this would probably be. This probably would be an 8.5.
My God, dude!
8,
You're
5,
the fact that the lady had these. It sat through 4 hurricanes, and they are in the condition that they're in, dude. You scored big. Like,
but you can't tell. Like, if you go to my Instagram, I think there was a picture of my Jeep.
Yeah.
Packed over the roof with these big long boxes. I'm going to tell you, I couldn't tell you what was in one single box when I put it in
I know
that
you.
Jeep.
That's what I'm saying. You got a big lottery ticket here, man. You lucked out big, and you got some mega books that people can only dream of having, and those are books that you shouldn't. I don't think you should sell them because you'd be. Or if you did sell them, it needs to go towards higher grades of that same book for you.
So Silver Trooper just sent me a text and he goes, "You're making me nervous with the middle finger because I'm starting to pull out the books out of the plastic." I love making him nervous. You, Polly, everybody, my wife, everybody actually said the same thing, which tells me it's probably the right thing to do, which is take some of the books that I'm not attached to,
Oh yeah, dump them.
get them graded,
Yeah.
or sell them
Uh-huh.
to finance the grading of the big boy books.
Yeah.
And if it's something that I can't live without, then I'm just going to keep it.
Yeah.
Because I don't need the cash. So keep it. And then all the other stuff needs to be put into inventory to help me
Yes.
to help sell and allow me to buy different collections, as well as get graded 10, moving with inventory in a positive direction. I have enough inventory. I have more inventory than any store in a 60-mile radius. Literally, I have boxes, sealed cases. See this down here?
Heist.
This is
Go on. Heist was asking the grade 9-0.
Yeah, so mine's probably an 8590, and I don't even know. I don't even know looking at yours, but that's a $6,000 book. The fact that you picked it up for what, 44 or
4,400.
is one of those
no brainers.
no brainer. You got to get it because somebody was just desperate enough, and you happen to have the money on hand.
Yeah.
If you're gonna wait for that book to be a $2,000 book, it's either fake or you'll be waiting forever. But like this right here, you can't see it because it's off screen. But I have stacks of cases of sealed product.
Yeah.
Shelving unit after shelving unit of sealed product. I have been prepping for the graded 10 store forever, and I think this got me motivated.
Yeah, and it's exciting. It's the fire under your rear that is going to push it along. So we went almost 2 hours. We went well beyond what we were planning on doing.
Well, that's when you
half
time
hour
flies
of it
when you're having a good time.
I know, man. But dude, it was a lot of fun. The plan is to do this next week on Wednesday again.
Okay.
I will be sending out the Spider-Man 2M4 on behalf of SPB. But
awesome! Congrats again.
It was a blast, dude. And
it was fun. Don't forget to go to Stormy's auction.
And go to Graded 10 and go to your channel. Let's start seeing the content on there.
Yeah.
Hit guys in the chat. All of you have to make an oath right now. You have to promise you will unsubscribe from DOA if he does not produce one video and have it posted on his channel by this time next week.
There you go. I'll take that. I'll take that deal.
Otherwise, they are all unsubbing you. Get it going, okay?
Well, according to my stats, I gained 1 sub from this whole show.
You have a lot of the people that
I know. I'm just messing around with you guys. Literally 1 sub, but I fully expect M4A2 Master, who's the sub. I fully expect them to unsubscribe from me if I don't have a video. But no, I actually want to do the video. I want to tell the story. I think I'm so comfortable in front of a camera. I'm so comfortable without a script. I think it makes no sense for me not to share the journey.
It would be complete squandering of an opportunity.
Yeah, and I think that people want to enjoy it because I am a regular everyday person. I wasn't born with a silver spoon in my mouth. I didn't inherit money, and I don't operate on credit. I literally am an everyday person trying to do some pretty extraordinary things. And I think anybody can do it if they put their mind to it. So can you, which is the point of this show.
Yeah.
Is to show everyday people that they can expand their horizons, be interested in new things, still be stacking in a way, and have something that can appreciate in value over time and be really fun and enjoyable while building it. So thanks, guys, for watching. I appreciate it. It's been a strong 2 hours. Like, subscribe, and we'll see you